we're back with Sun in Pisces, Mars in Cancer, and with this placement, it's all about the feels. This is a intuitive placement. This placement is a nurturing, supportive placement, and you don't really mind a lot of times with being a supporter in a relationship. Whether you're male or female, and I'm talking like on the emotional level. You'll find yourself catching the brunt of that, and this is the thing. It's not that you can't display your emotions. I feel like with Pisces are able to display their emotions. They just display them in the ways that they want to the people that they want to. Because it's not that they're trying to let it be known to everybody. Sometimes not even to the person that they're directly mad about, but it's like they're going to get their point across some way or another. But it's almost like sometimes it's in a way to where it's more reactive than necessarily in the moment of just understanding. Sometimes if your feelings are hurt, or you're sensitive, you're in your sensitive mode, and somebody hurts your feelings, or steps on your toes, or whatever the case may be, you can be more reactive. I mean, in a verbal way, and it could. I'm talking like where you can be like just spewing the way that you feel, and to where it could catch a lot of other people off guard, or they don't have the understanding behind why you're saying these things or why you're feeling the way that you feel. And they can almost see it as you're trying to play victim, or you're trying to push off your feelings on to other people. So in a sense, sometimes it's not really received well according to the way that the way that you're trying to get it across. Well, the interesting thing is that it's because with Cancer, a lot of time, Cancer is in the moment. You get what I'm saying? Cancer is in the moment, and with Cancer being in the moment, it's hard for Cancers to really get away from the way that they feel in the moment of something. Also, it could really be hard to move away from the past. Past connections, past relationships, whether that is love relationships, friendships, parent-child relationships, whatever. There could be a strong tie or attachment to these areas of life, and hard to let go of. Hard to let go of. Sometimes in this particular placement, it could be to the point of where, if you are in a relationship with somebody and like you're trying to balance that out, or you're trying to be there for that, but then it's like in your family, your personal family that you have, but it's like, man, I got to help my brothers and sisters, or be there for my mother. It's like trying to do so many multiple things at once to the point of where it throws you off. You're back and forth in your feelings in your relationship, and what you're saying you want and what you don't want. It could cause chaos in a relationship, like fights, misunderstandings, things of that nature. And then it's kind of like, you might have your partner saying, no, you need to stand up to your mother, and you need to tell her like, you're not going to do A, B, or C. And then you got your mother like, no, you need to stand up to him, and you need to tell him like, you're not going to be treated this way or that way. And then you have you not necessarily really knowing how to move past these certain things, or these certain incidents, these certain problems that creep up, because it's like, well, shoot, I care about all of y'all, and I mean, Pisces, this placement can be really dramatic, and dramatic in emotions in the way that they feel, but it's really that you're experiencing these feelings, you're really sincerely experiencing these feelings, but other people may not understand. That's why it's important to really not look for validation when it comes to others in the way that you feel, because a lot of times if they don't understand, they're not going to react to you ever in a way that you may want them to, or the way that you may expect them to. But this is the thing. You got to remember to start new sometimes. Just start new sometimes. Instead of hanging on. Start new sometimes. And it starts with, what do you want? What do you choose to be? What do you choose to get out of your experience? And just like claim that and move towards that direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, think a little bit. And yes, because Pisces, you like being in the moment, but sometimes, or like not even the moment. Cancer is really more like being in the moment. Pisces just like being. But sometimes allow your mind to logically come up with things, and just for no reason, for fun sometimes, and just like be in the moment of effective thought processes. Because it's one thing to kind of just be in the moment and just kind of be there, and it's another thing to be engaged with what that means. It's like, okay, man, I got an idea, or I'm daydreaming about like what was said to me, what was done to me, how my feelings was hurt. Then say, how can I turn this into a constructive moment? Okay, well, let me think about this for a minute. Instead of me reacting, let me think about this for a minute. I could, display or conversate over to the fact that, my feelings was hurt, and this is why. But at the same time, you got to be willing to differentiate whether your feelings was hurt with somebody intentionally trying to hurt them, or the way that you perceived it. That's where the effective thought process comes in. You get what I'm saying? Because you're getting more out of how you feel about something, or you're not just leaning to the way you feel about something, but you're objectively looking at the whole situation. That could help. Well, I will say this. For Pisces sign, Mars and Cancer can be helpful for the fact that, Mars can get you out of that state of being in confusion sometimes, because you're highly intuitive and you take on other people's, either way, you can take on other people's feelings and you wear it as your own. And it can be hard to even establish your own identity. Mars and Cancer can help with that, because Mars and Cancer can take and snatch that, like, you out of that moment of being and just say, boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't look back, shoot forward, get things done. You know what I'm saying? And you'll do this until you come to that bump in the road to where you feel like something's affected you negatively, or something is getting in your way, and it could take you to like fits of emotional displays, and it could put you in a place of where you don't move forward. You can't start new, because you're there in the moment of feeling like consumed with the things of other people, with what they want you to do, because you're just extremely caring and supportive of the people that you love and care about. Like, a lot of times, like, it seems like you're dedicated or you obligated to your family, or you're attached to them in some kind of way, but really they can help you. With Mars and Cancer placement, the good thing about it is family, or the people that we deem as our family, could really help us or help them progress, people with displacement, to the point of no return. Because you got to remember, like, a lot of the reason why a lot of y'all don't really want to just go out there and just, like, sit everything to win and go out there is because of your attachments, or because of the fact that you feel like, man, what if this happens? What if that happens? And you know what I have to say to that? Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to fail. You got to be willing to go out there and experience, and just understand that, there are people there to catch you. Facing your fears is what this placement is trying to teach you. Facing your fears, moving past emotional upsets and displays, and how you feel all the time, and be actively involved in what that looks like. Like, what do you want to benefit from? What do you want to have happen, and do you want to come out of every situation that you involve yourself in? Whether it's with your family, whether it's with your friends, whether it's with something you're trying to pursue in life. Because if you can get down to these core answers, like, ask these core questions to get down to these core answers, it'll make life so much easier for you. When you get to that place where you feel stuck emotionally, or engulfed in your emotions, you can sit there and you can ask a question. You can come back and ask a question like, no. What was my intentions behind this? What did I say I wanted to do this for? And that can help push you forward, and push you past your limitations and your attachments, because you got the ability to build solid foundations. You do. And, you just gotta allow that to happen. And you gotta remember that, look at attachments that you're having and you associate yourself with, when it comes to people, when it comes to family, when it comes to a lover or whatever. And don't let those attachments be your holdback, This placement can be highly romantic and highly sentimental. Highly, highly, highly sentimental. You can want displays from your partner of like love. Like you could go away for a while or for a minute, a day or so, or even more, you know, and you could come back to really test how much your partner loves you. Like, do they love you like they say they love you? Because it's so, they'll send you those text messages saying, I miss you. I want you. You're like the only person that I desire. You know, when you're gone, I could feel it. I can feel it on a deep level. I can feel it more than my life itself. It's like you want those romantic displays, like the poems and the gestures, and you're willing to give it to your partner as well, you know. So that's there. But remember, like I said, great progression, how you progress in life is, yeah, you gotta just be able to go for it. You got the ability to with Mars and Cancer, but at the same time, you gotta allow yourself to work through the emotional setbacks that come up for you from time to time, and let it show you that the confusion that you may hold and the wanting to escape, the escapism, comes from the fact that you don't want to face certain fears, you know, and you got to actively, little at a time, work on facing those fears, okay, through solid practical ways. Set solid practical goals for yourself from time to time, and actually make sure you do them, you know. All right. This has been Sun in Pisces, Mars in Cancer, and I will see you guys around. Peace.